Hi everyone, I'm Jen. I wanted to share with you the past 12 hours or so and past lifetime, probably lifetimes. I was triggered big time yesterday when I did a video where I talked again about the two possible time travels that I did, where my younger self felt my older self, and later my older self saw and talked with my younger self. But there was a comment that was left, and it's since been deleted, but it triggered me, and I was falling down the hill, and it was a rocky, bumpy hill, and I all skinned up. But it gave me the opportunity to look at what was going on. So one of the two possible time travels where my elementary school self felt the padded, fat body of my adult self. As an adult, I remember feeling like I was that elementary school, I don't know if it's 6th grade, and as a 6th grader, I didn't know what I was touching, but later realized, oh, that's my padded body. Anyhow, I can include that link, but it's related to being sexually abused, and I didn't want to talk about it, and there's no need to do details. It's just that I would lay in bed waiting till it happened, and I've already, so I don't know what this video is going to be about, but is it multiple experiencings, which is what I call ME? Is it the Mandela effect, which I believe is the tip of the iceberg of multiple experiences? Or is it multiple personalities that I actually asked my doctor decades ago, do I have it? And I don't, but I don't know. Is the Mandela effect like multiple personalities? So I'll go ahead and share with you my stuff. Okay. So different versions of me throughout my life, kind of, like in a movie, there'll be the main actor and then you have stand-ins. So the main actor at the beginning, I'm sure there are tons more than this, but the first one was little Jenny, and there would be a stand-in, I don't know who, while stuff happened to her body. So the earliest one that I will mark this rated X or not PG or something, because this is not comfortable conversation, but my first experience is 3 years old in a cruise ship, and when that person walked out, or when that person did that, my essence was somehow looking at the ceiling and at the ceiling while little Jenny's body was being whatevered. And so little Jenny died a long time ago, and then last winter I felt her. And whether it's a person or not doesn't matter. It's all the experiences and feelings. It's the one version of me that dealt with it. And she actually, and I even did a song for her, Come My Child, and I welcomed her into Jen Incorporated. I don't know what to call this. But with Jen Incorporated, I mean, when little Jenny was top dog in Jen Incorporated, it's like she found herself in a 54-year-old body. Her agoraphobia, like, bleh, that's when I couldn't do anything, and needed my support system. My service dog was gone, and so, I mean, it was overwhelming, and I was really shut down. Okay, she's merged, and the ickiness that came with it was purged and whatever. So it seems like yesterday, another version of me, I knew about this time period of my life, but I never labeled it, of those experiences. So I'm just, it wasn't little Jenny, it was just Jenny. So now I'm calling it just Jenny. It was maybe from, little Jenny's from birth to 3 or 4, and then just Jenny is from, it's ironic, quantum of conscience, which I feel is like what I'm dealing with. I just got a notification. So just Jenny was, after those years, I can label a lot through the years of where we lived. So little Jenny was the early years of Europe and Asia, and then after that cruise ship or whatever, I think that's when just Jenny must have been the stand-in or something. Is that related to walk-ins? I don't know. I don't know how this works. Is it another part of myself or what? But so just Jenny dealt with stuff as well and waited at night till things happened. And that's one of the times that I felt like it's a possible time travel, where while I'm laying in bed as an elementary school, I could feel my adult body over me. I didn't know what it was at the time, but and I talked about it last video. So what triggered it is the first comment that was left had the word sexual in it, and hypnosis. But that comment, I'm sure, was benign, but it's since been deleted, and it doesn't matter. It started me on this difficult awakening and awareness for my own personal journey, because I feel like we kind of have to, we don't have to, but we have the opportunity to gather all our different parts and pieces so that we return to the whole. And then if you want to take it a step further, you are part of the whole. I am part of the whole. So after I gather all of my whole, it also helps you. But we don't even have to get that far. Let's just try to gather all of our broken pieces. And just Jenny was triggered big time. And so I got reacquainted with those feelings and just waiting in bed. The other thing that's happening is the lady whose home I'm staying with has a foster dog who's staying with her for a week, or hopefully forever, but we don't know. But this dog flinches when you're ready to pet her. This dog wants to play, wants to come, and then boom, retreats when you get too close. And that sounds like me, not just Jenny, but also me. So I needed to look at that part of me. Maybe that's why it all came up. I used to flinch, and maybe I still do, I don't know, at men's voices, because it meant other things. I don't know. It's just a lot to think about. But I thought, since I already told you about my PTSD and my brain injury and my agoraphobia, I might as well tell you that I have these multiple versions of me, whether it's through the Mandela effect or a diagnosis that's not official with the different doctors whom I thought, I know I have something. But when I moved back to the States was the first time I was aware of another version of me whom I referred to as Mr. Hand. And Mr. Hand is my right hand. And the first time I became aware is when my classmate next to me said, "What are you doing?" And I looked down, and it's Mr. Hand would, with the pointer finger, write to me what is wrong, like what's ready to be wrong. So like my father's steps coming down to where our bedrooms were, It would just write steps. And then Mr. Hand was my protector, my watcher. And then in ninth grade, when I took typing class, Mr. Hand turned into two hands and would type me the message. And then when I was pregnant with my first one at age 27, Mr. Hand, I took calligraphy class, and then Mr. Hand switched back to the one hand and took forever to write the warnings of whatever, was out of place or something wrong was going to happen to me. So I was aware of Mr. Hand. I just didn't talk about it. When I moved down from North Carolina to, or from DC to North Carolina, I had already worked on Mr. Hand and had merged him and had worked on it through therapy to not separate myself and to go ahead and merge. But I was telling the professional, excuse me, mineral water. Actually, it's kombucha tea, root beer flavor. I'm burping. Anyhow, I, Jen Incorporated, was able to watch out for myself. And I was no longer disappearing when things were happening within my marriage. Because by that time I was an adult, and I do love the father of my children. I love everyone. All of you have been my teachers and my friends, and I just want you to know, I don't know where I'm looking in the camera, but I love you. So thank you. I just need to talk about it now. So I know I got strong enough and no longer needed to separate my body. But it was funny because Mr. Hand ended up being a broken thing. Like driving in traffic, going to work in DC. You know how cars, sometimes you're ahead of them, sometimes you're behind them, sometimes you're ahead of them. And so, my hand would, let's just say XYZ 1 2 3, XYZ 1 2 3, XYZ. So I'm looking around, XYZ 1 2 3. What are you trying to say? And all it would be is a license plate of a car that happens to be scooting up and down around me. But anything that would be suspicious to Mr. Hand or unknown or doesn't make sense, it was like a broken machine would then just tell me. And when we drove down from DC to North Carolina, when we moved down there, the first time I drove down with my baby sister, and my hand started saying or writing hot-boiled peanuts, hot-boiled peanuts, hot-boiled peanuts. So I'm not going to tell my sister, oh, Mr. Hand is writing hot-boiled peanuts. What does that mean? I just acted, and I said, I wonder why I'm thinking about hot-boiled peanuts. And she goes, oh, well, we just passed by a guy selling hot-boiled peanuts, and there was a sign. So I, Jen Incorporated, had not noticed that. She was driving. I guess she paid more attention at that time, and I was just, not paying attention. But Mr. Hand paid attention. So he had never heard. I didn't grow up in the South. Hot-boiled peanuts is a thing that they have here in the South, where they boil peanuts. They're delicious. I don't know if they remove all the vitamins or benefits from it, but it's a fun addiction or enjoyment. But that was one of the last times that Mr. Hand had to notify me of anything. But there are different versions of me. Mr. Hand was still attached to me, so I guess not all versions have to be separate. I also want to talk about, maybe it's part of this and maybe it's not, but memories versus false memories is when I was 27, I was pregnant with my firstborn, and I started having images and movies going on in my mind, and they were disgusting about my childhood past. I didn't really know of beyond just kind of basic stuff. And I thought I was just making it worse. I thought I was mentally ill. But it turns out that I believe that I was pregnant, so I was just like making myself remember everything so that I can protect the baby. That's another story. Something was tried but was protected, and we had to have an estrangement for a while. I love you, family, wherever you are. I love you, family. But after I realized that they were part of my pasts where I had blacked out, one of my flashback memories did not, the furniture in it did not match up the furniture in my real memory. And that's when I thought, oh my gosh, my mom's right. I made all this up and am just a mean idiot trying to cause problems within the family. But luckily I have a witness. My sister, who's 13 months younger, she dealt with things by running away. I thought she was brave. By being a fighter. I was never a fighter. Except verbally to her, sorry. Sorry, sister. But she dealt with things with alcohol and other things. But so she didn't want to talk about what happened, what we experienced growing up. So what I did is I drew the furniture on a piece of paper from my actual memory of this one abuse, and then the paper from another, one from the real memory and one from the flashback memory. And what prompted this memory is a trigger. And I was at a play group for my children, and at this lady's house, this family's house, one of the children had a old-fashioned doll that smelled a certain way, had a certain smell to it, and that brought me back to Spain, where I would hold on to my doll, and that would allow me to leave while stuff happened. And so that flashback came, and I all of a sudden started feeling everything at that play group. And I'm sorry to the people at the play group. I'm sure I looked like an idiot where I was just freaking out for no reason, but I didn't know what was happening. And then, so when I called my alcoholic sister, oh, I just saw an orb. Wow, I saw it without even being on camera. Wow. When I called her, I know she doesn't want to talk about the past, so I just asked her. I said, I've got a blank piece of paper here. Would you help me remember, describe to me where the furniture was when we were in Spain? And, the bottom front right is the door, and the side left is the windows. And then she said the best thing. She said, well, which way? There were two ways. And I didn't even have to draw anything. I'd already drawn it. The earlier years were the flashback years, and the later furniture layout were for the later years. So it turns out that that memory with the doll had to do with the flashback memories. I just saw another orb. The flashback memories. Hold on one second. I'll be right there. Lovely lady's calling me. This foster dog is prompting the triggers yesterday, and I just want to say, as a good friend told me, every version of me loves every version of me, and every version of me loves every version of you. Love you.